What's up, guys? Jason here, aspiring entrepreneur. Day in the life of a budding entrepreneur. I've got my water, my San Pellegrino, coffee on the way. Time to get this day started. And there goes all of that fun energy from this morning. I've spent the past 3 hours battling Easy VSL. It's a software for sales letters and webinars. It matches your slides and your audio together, makes it really easy to edit things after you've recorded your audio as opposed to trying to do a PowerPoint and talk at the same time and doing a screen capture. So anyway, long story short, and cut. Funny how I say long story short and then I spend 5 minutes rambling on and complaining about how a software didn't work. So real long story short, software caused a problem, burned through my afternoon. The good news though is because I follow my own time blocking advice, I had a time block in the middle of the afternoon for things to kind of allow me to catch up. So I have pretty much a catch-up time block almost every day or at least every other day. And so I really think it's important for you guys as well to have those times that you don't actually schedule anything. You just say, hey, I'm going to work on during this time, and you have that cushion just in case something goes wrong or just in case a task takes longer than you expect. But here's the highlight of the end of that conversation of me just whining. It's like having your hands tied because you can't do anything. It's like you've tried everything possible and it's like, I can't break it apart. I can't get it to work. Definitely not my best moment. The good news is the software problem does have a happy ending. Yes, after 3.5 hours, finally got it to work on Windows. So Windows, 500 points, Mac, 0 points. Still have to figure out what the heck's wrong with the Mac, but at least the video file is rendered and I can finally set up the ad campaign like I was supposed to do around 11 o'clock this morning. And so with that, the big moral of the story for me today and the big takeaway that I got out of, my work day, which is really the purpose of this vlog, is me just kind of sharing lessons learned, pulling lessons out of, failures, frustrations, and of course, successes. But in terms of this particular frustration is really coming to terms with the fact that just because something breaks and just because you spend a lot of time or you spend more time than you thought something would take doesn't mean that you've fallen behind. I think it's a really, really easy trap for us as entrepreneurs is when we make these plans, we plan out our day, whether it's over a day, a month, you have your, quarterly goals, whatever the plan is, you have to remember that plan is really just a suggestion, right? It's an ideal world. And the more you forget that it's a suggestion and the more you see it as fact, the more disappointed you're ultimately going to be when it comes to the real world, because the real world really is unpredictable. We can make the best plans. Like I made a really good plan. Was really, really productive this morning. I was masterminding with a fellow YouTuber and he was talking about how his day completely got derailed because some things broke and he didn't get a lot of work done either. And then lo and behold, a couple hours later, software breaks. I don't get a lot of things done. So, it happened to both of us today. And it's just one of those things where you have to remember that your plans are just a suggestion. When you look at your plans as fact, you are setting yourself up for a world of hurt and a bunch of disappointment. That's not to say that you should never be, frustrated or angry when things, don't work out like you planned, or, just throw in the towel like, oh, okay, well, the plan didn't work, so I'm just going to go watch Netflix for a couple of hours. Like, no, that's not at all what I'm saying. Well, what I am saying is you have to plan to adjust. There are going to be pivots on a macro and micro scale. And when the plans don't work, you go back to the drawing board and then you keep going. I mean, that's pretty much it. I know it sounds really simple at the end of this little rant, but it's just one of those things where you have to remember your plan is just a suggestion. Your time blocks are just a suggestion. There's no way to control everything that's going to be thrown at you throughout the day. And so with that, I'm going to adjust my time blocks for tomorrow based on the work I didn't get done and the broken software. And you know what? I'm just going to keep trucking forward. So I encourage all of you guys to continue to do the same thing. So until the next video, you know exactly what to do. Keep building the business you love. Take care.